Hello, I'm Michael Barker. I'm a retired Supreme Court of Western Australia judge and a retired judge of the Federal Court of Australia. And I'm very pleased to be a supporter of the Yes case on the upcoming referendum in just a couple of weeks' time, or if you're watching this in a few days' time, perhaps. There's been a lot of confusion over the constitutional aspects of the voice, a lot of misinformation, and I fear not all that many people have actually picked up the words and read them. And I'd like to tell you how simple the proposal is. If you pick up the words, it adds a new chapter to our Constitution, which is about recognition of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. That's the very first clause in the change, recognition. The second clause is to say there shall be a body known as the Voice. Very simple. The third clause says the Voice may make representations to the Australian Parliament and the Australian Government about matters affecting Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. That's it, very simple. The last clause says that the Australian Parliament will make laws governing the composition and the operation of the Voice once it comes into play. So that's yet to be done. The law that the Parliament makes, it'll be debated. Now, the No campaign has put in its pamphlet that this proposal, these words I've just uttered to you, are risky, that the proposal is uncertain or unknown, that it's divisive, and that it's permanent. One thing's for sure, it's permanent, and it ought to be. Otherwise, governments will come along in the next part of Parliament and they'll repeal the law recognising our First Nations people who've been on this part of the planet for up to 65,000 years. I've worked with Aboriginal people as a barrister and I've heard a lot of cases on the Federal Court involving Aboriginal people. They have the oldest, richest culture that you can imagine. And these constitutional changes will ensure that Australia as a modern country properly embraces its First Nations people. So let me just repeat, it's a very simple proposition. It's been called modest, and I think it is. Some people want it to be stronger. But the real point about it is this: it doesn't involve a veto power. It doesn't involve any legislative power for the Voice. It can't go making laws. All it can do is suggest to the Parliament and the government how they should make laws or how they should implement laws. What they say can be totally ignored, but it adds a First Nations view to our governmental system. And isn't it time? Europeans settled this country from 1788 in Western Australia from 1829, and we effectively ignored Aboriginal people all that time. And we're being asked, partly with our hearts, but also with our minds, to do what's right now. I'm voting yes. Thank you.
Yeah!